Hello students, this is information about the case study project that we have for week 6. I'll be starting in week 4 with my explanation since we had an optional assignment of a case study progress check that describes a little bit about this project as well. So the purpose of the case study assignment is to understand how theories of second language acquisition apply or do not apply in one person who has learned English in that person's life. So there's 3 steps. You're going to develop 8 to 10 questions to ask in the interview, identify a person to study, and write up your case study. So when you're developing questions, you want to make sure to write open-ended questions that connect to concepts we have learned in class. And if you ask a short answer question, include a follow-up question. So try to include at least 2 questions each related to chapters 6, 7, and 8. Chapters 6, 7, and 8. So some people have been noting their question numbers in the assignment, the progress check or the final assignment, and that's actually very helpful. You also need to identify a person. That's why I made sure to give extra time on this assignment, so you're aware that you need to identify a person. I do have at least 2 people, one in the U.S. and one from Costa Rica, who are ready to go to be interviewed. So if you are watching this video and thinking, oh my gosh, I wasn't doing those optional assignments and I don't have someone to interview, please contact me as soon as possible with a Blackboard message or an email so I can connect you to someone else. And we are asking you to interview someone who is more than 18 years old. Okay, so just looking to see about any differences with the week 5 case study progress check. So by doing those progress checks, and you could still do the one for week 5 if you are seeing this before that deadline, you are getting 1 extra credit point on your overall grade for the course. So that's up to 2 extra credit points for the grade in the course. So in this part, it's asking you to schedule and maybe start completing the interview. So when you interview the person, you can do it in person, on the phone, or a video call. Take notes. It's not necessary to record, but if you want to record with the person's permission, you can definitely do that. And what you're going to look for is where the person's answers agreed or disagreed with the textbook or other material from the that we studied this semester. And you are going to note anything that surprised or shocked you, as well as the answers to each question. So now moving to the case study project itself, which is due on the 23rd at the end of week 6. You could see that the final version of the case study should be an attachment double-spaced in Microsoft Word or PDF. Please make sure to follow that part. And you're going to write it up. It should be at least 500 words, so you should include background information on the person. You don't need their name, but maybe their country, their age, or other relevant information. Each question, the person's answer, and then your analysis of their answer or reflection. You don't necessarily need to use quotes from the person, but try to capture the main ideas of their answer. And overall, in the case study, you need at least 2 quotes from the textbook. So that doesn't mean 2 quotes for each question. It means 2 quotes overall. So you're welcome to use more quotes than that if you would like to connect the ideas from the interview to our textbook. And then at the end, after providing all the answers to the questions, provide a final reflection on what you learned from the interview. So I have copied and pasted the week 4 and 5 case study progress checks under this, but you don't have to submit anything. Here you're just going to submit that final draft of the case study, at least a 500-word document answering those questions. So again, times to contact me for sure would be if you need help finding someone to interview. Be sure to contact me so that I can provide a connection to you. I look forward to reading these. They should be really interesting, so thank you so much. Bye-bye.